Well, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to TRF. I am so excited because we are fishing a brand new body of water today, and I'm gonna make it my goal to teach you guys how to fish brand new bodies of water and find bass fast. My name's Tyler, and let's talk about it. Well, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Tyler's Reel Fishing. My goal on this channel is to help you guys catch more bass no matter where you are in the country with every single video that I make. And like I said, the goal of this video is to teach you guys the proper steps that at least I take in my experience that help find bass quickly on new bodies of water, no matter what type of body of water they are, whether they're rivers in Louisiana or a super deep, clear reservoir in Utah, or you are in a super shallow, grassy, flatty lake like Minnesota or Florida. I think all these tips can apply to you guys. We're at a beautiful new lake today. Never been here before, only heard minimal things about it. It's a beautiful lake here in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. It's gorgeous. Look at this. Now, as you all will notice, I am already on the lake. And so I'm going to kind of discuss my four main things that I do, my four main points that I hit of preparation for a new body of water before I even make a cast. Let's talk about number one. So the first thing that I do when it comes to fishing new bodies of water is I always make sure to look them up on YouTube first. YouTube is a wealth of information, and everybody out there is making videos on basically every single type of body of water. And so if you are curious about the quality of a fishery that you're going to, is it big bass, largemouth, smallmouth? What kind of bass is it? How do guys normally catch them? Most of the time, with how many bass anglers there are nowadays, you can find information on those lakes on YouTube. So that is always the first thing I check is YouTube. Super simple, right? Number two, as we put in our trolling motor, is going to be check out that lake on Google Maps, Apple Maps, Google Earth, whatever map system you want to use, and make sure it has a very detailed picture of that lake, not a super old picture from 1987. You want a fairly new picture of that lake, and you just want to go as in-depth as you can, looking at that lake, pinching in, looking for boulders, looking for grass areas, looking for shallow wood, really just looking for anything that could clue you in on what type of body of water this is. On this lake today, I zoomed in, I saw some islands, as we have right behind me here. I saw some banks that are shallow that had some lay down trees, and so I can imagine there's probably some largemouth in this lake. It kind of looks like a largemouth lake. Definitely pike for sure up here in New York. And I see lily pads back there that I saw on Google Maps. And so I just can imagine what type of lures I'm going to be throwing. And that, of course, gets me ready for the lake. So 1 and 2 are super, super easy. So let's move on to tip number 3 for new bodies of water. Tip number 3 is going to be use your eyes. If you're in a bass boat especially, use your eyes as you launch your boat, as you're driving around, whether you're driving to your first spot or you're just looking for a brand new spot to go to. Use your eyes. Look for things that are visible. Look for visible cover on the bank. Look for where other boats are fishing. Maybe they have something going on, maybe they don't. So you can kind of pattern based on what you see where those fish might be on that body of water. So these have been super easy tips so far. Of course, we're gonna get on the water and show you guys me trying to figure out a brand new lake in a few hours time here. But I say we move on to our last tip, tip number 4. And I guess you don't necessarily have to go about it in this specific order, but I just prefer to do it this way. When I get to the body of water, I want to do a little bit of topographic map study. So let me go back to my console right here, and I'll show you guys there's not a whole lot of map on this lake. This lake, as you can see, doesn't really have a whole lot going on, and when you zoom in like on this section here, it's basically just a bowl. Not a whole lot going on, not a whole lot of contour lines besides a standard break. So you want to be looking for contour lines. If you don't understand those, I will be making videos hopefully this summer, if not this fall, on what contour lines are, how to read them, and how to find fish on them. But especially if you're in a body of water that has offshore structure, brush piles, rock piles, you want to use those break lines to find offshore structure. And again, that only applies to guys that are in bass boats with nice electronics. That's why I put it as number 4, because if you're in a kayak or you're just bank fishing, you can use all 3. You can use YouTube, you can use Google Maps, and you can use your eyes. Your electronics are not always going to be in use. So I have done the research on all of that. I found some really good areas that I want to hit, so I'm going to jump from area to area, and hopefully I get some bites that can clue me in on what these fish are doing. So let's put the chest mount on, put the camera on the monopod, and get to fishing. So the 5 lures that we have rigged up are topwater walking frog. We have a Ned rig for a little bit deeper. We got a flipping jig, Outcast tackle cage fighter, vibrating jig, thunder cricket, and we have a deep diving jerkbait. I just feel like that's a good cross section of what's going on here. But first thing I see is I saw a little like grass patch out there in, what is that, like 10 feet of water. And I know this is not ideal for everybody because not everybody has live scope, but I did see some fish right out there. I'm gonna flip my Ned rig down there and see what I can see. There's probably nothing down there, but it's always worth a look. Oh, there was a fish down there. Felt like a rock bass. So the 5 rods that we have rigged up for today, we have topwater frog, we have a Ned rig for a little bit deeper in case we find a little rock pile. We got Outcast Tackle cage fighter jig for flipping in these shallow stick ups. We got a Thunder Cricket for covering water, and we have a deep diving jerk bait. Again, in case we get into a little smally area. And my frog is currently stuck on my hook keeper. Power pull up, and let's catch us a bass. A little bit windy today. Just casting the frog up there. Innocent little froggy. I'm gonna be prophetic here and bring out my fish counter, because I believe we're gonna catch a lot of fish. I'm at 420 for the year. Nice. I'm a little behind, trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and being at 420 by this time is a little slow. As always, with a new body of water, I want to cover water as fast as possible. Show as many lures to these bass as possible. That way I'm not wasting any time, and once I figure out what they're biting on, I can just duplicate that. There's one. There's one. Hey, on the jig. It's not big, but it is a fish, and it's windy. I apologize. Little largemouth on the stick up. All right, so there's a fish. Is it a pattern? Not sure yet, but we're gonna keep fishing a few more of these. Again, I don't want that size. I was told the fish in this lake are 2 to 3 pounds, but that fish was not 2 to 3 pounds. He was rinky dink. Oh, where's the clicker? Hey, 421. I ran to somewhere that had more immediate structure, so I found some lay down trees, big ones, bang, bang, bang on this bank here. So we're gonna see. So none of those laydowns had a fish on them, which is kind of surprising, but judging by, you know, the lake that I went to last year that was like this, not surprising. So we're going to try to fish some high spots now. In between all these islands, there's little high rock spots. I believe we got a high spot coming up here. So I'm gonna throw the old Thunder Chicken around, see if that can't get me any in that high spot. And I wish the banks were a little steeper. I'd burn the bank if it was steeper with a crankbait or a jerkbait, but banks are pretty shallow, surprisingly. A wind-blown shallow point, come on. There's one. There's one. Yes, sir. What do I got? I don't know. It's nice though, whatever I got. It bit me right away, and it's running like that way. Oh, do I have a stick? No, I got a fish. I got a fish. I got a fish. Whatever it is, it's nice. He was like really shallow on that point. But like I told you, it's textbook. They should be there. It's a nice largemouth, I think. Yeah. Nice largemouth bass on the Thunder Chicken. Hey. Hey, bring it on in here. Bring it, oh, it's a smallmouth. It's smallmouth. Hey, look at that. Smallmouth bass. Skinny though, so different than the St. Lawrence ones that I've, you know, caught in the last few days. Hey, chill. There we go. Smallmouth bass on the Thunder Cricket. Beautiful. Such a skinny fish, man. That's a post spawner if I've ever seen one. Well, you know what? Maybe they're on those shallow points that are windblown. So I'm gonna work this point a little more and keep going. That thing was shallow as heck. Gee. That's a stuck one. I think a spinnerbait could do really well. Yeah, you know what? I feel like a spinnerbait is gonna get smallmouth attention better too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna power pull down, get a spinnerbait. Windy wind now. Oh yeah, I'm about to get smoked. Dang it. Gosh, got him. There we go. It wasn't a smallie, it was a largie. He chased it out and ate it. Okay, okay. A little bit of spinnerbait action. I'm not gonna be mad about that either. Hey, chill, chill. All these fish, man, have no time to get the energy out. And that guy, oh, he's a derp. That's a derp fish. Look at that, his mouth is all derp forward. Okay, we have figured him out. Wind blowing banks, spinnerbait. Let's go. Not what I expected in the slightest, but let's stinking do it. Come on. Give it to me, baby. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep it going, boys. How did I not get any more bass on this bank? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think the bass population is high in here, because if it was, that bank I just fished, 150 yards, should have been loaded. Well, everybody, the whole main lake point deal is not working out like I thought it would. So we are gonna head to a separate part of this lake. You have to idle, it looks like, quite a ways through some shallow rocky water to get there. But I see some stuff on my satellite image of my map that looks a little bit more largemouthy, a little bit more grassy. So we're gonna go check that out. And if that doesn't happen, then we're just gonna hit every single point in this lake and hope there's a few smallmouth or largemouth that wanna play. But it's been a little bit frustrating. So we'll see you guys at the next gosh darn spot. Let's see what we can do. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, a largemouth out in the middle of nowhere. Wow. Okay, well, at least I'm in the right area. I was just like, oh, sorry, buddy. I was just like, well, there's some wood and some rocks out here, and I got me one. They are all so skinny in this lake. Well, that makes 4 fish for today. Oh gosh, that's a stump. No giants yet. I mean, I'm not expecting a giant, but no like chunky fish, just a bunch of skinny boys. Very interesting. Middle of nowhere. I mean, had some sticks, but nothing crazy. We're working our way back into this grassy area here. And I want to throw a frog. I just don't feel like these fish are gonna bite a frog. I don't feel like they're the kind of fish that do. They seem like more pelagic, moving around fish and not like structure-oriented fish. We'll see. It's coming up here real quick. Well, I'm for sure in frog area now. Can't throw much else with the grass all laid over. So let's see if any of these bad boys will bite a frog. I don't know if they're up there, man. That's really shallow. I'm gonna switch sides. There's too much grass over here. Way too much stuff to work. If I wanna go high percentage, I go over here. I'm not on the frog, man. I'm on this stinking spinnerbait, I'm telling you. Gotta cover water. The fish are not in this grass. They are on the sticks and the rocks outside the grass. So odd. For a southern boy, doesn't make any sense to me why they'd be out here instead of out here. But they are. All right, oh gosh, there's one. I was just about to say I'm convinced there's no bass back here, but there was one. You know what, let's keep covering water. All right, another one. Wow. Okay, we'll keep it going. Just gotta, they're so random. There's nothing predictable about these fish. Ugh, I hate that. I'm glad I'm having success. I've had many worse days on new bodies of water, but I just wanna, I wanna have success doing something that makes sense, not just covering water with the spinnerbait on random banks. If I was getting more bites like in this grass here, I'd put on a swim jig so fast. This would scream swim jig, but I'm getting, like I said, in the open, not in the thick stuff. High percentage, people, high percentage. Last cast back here, and then I'm going back to the main lake. I know I caught two back here, but it's just, it doesn't fill me with confidence, to be honest. There's not as much wood, not as much rock. Farther back I go is just expansive grass, and none of it's what I would call largemouth fishable. Like it's all the same. Let's go. So we've made it to a totally new section of the lake. Beautiful house here. I mean, some of these lake houses on this lake are just gorgeous. This one's like castle themed. The dock, you just drive your paddleboard or jet skis or whatever up into the castle and close the door. Pretty dang cool. Don't mind me if I don't cast in there, into the castle. Pull me out a dungeon bass. Is that a fish? No. All right, skip a jig. Skip a jig on up in there. And let it fall. This is probably higher percentage. Working these deeper laydowns with the jig. It's also more fun than sitting in the wind, fishing a spinnerbait. I'm really surprised we haven't caught one pike yet. You know what? It's so dumb, but like the spinnerbait has to be the best option here. There's so many sticks that like my boat's going over, and oftentimes the bass are not where you're casting at the bank. They're actually where your boat is. It's a mistake a lot of people make. So I'm gonna back up, make longer casts to the bank, and really slow roll a spinnerbait back. Even though it's not windy, even though it's not bouldery or a shallow flat, it's just seems like that's what these fish want. So I'm gonna give them what they want. Cool. Oh, yeah. There's my first pike. Go to swing and there's absolutely nothing there. That's a pikey pike. Got my jig. Who could have guessed? Oh, we got the juiciest looking stretch I have fished yet. This has gotta have a fish on it. I know it does. It's like physically impossible for a fish to not be here. But will it bite? That's the question. Come on, man. This is dumb. Oh, I see largemouth right there. I see him in this tree. Got a big one, got a big one. He's stuck in the tree. He's stinking stuck in this tree. Oh my gosh, I sight casted him. Do not get off, do not get off, do not get off. Oh gosh, there's like 4 or 5 of them in this tree. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh gosh. Oh no, he got off. Dang it. I had to cast over all these branches and man, couldn't get him over the branch. There's like 4 or 5 fish in there. I doubt they'll bite again, but you never know. Yeah, he got me so stuck in this stuff. Yuck. I was really hoping I could set the hook and rip him totally clean in the air and out of there, but didn't work. He got caught up in the branches. Okay, well, I guess I found where the largemouth are. They're in this kind of stuff. The deeper lay down trees. That was so cool though. I saw him way back in there, flipped to him and saw him bolt and eat it. That was dope. But hey, I missed him.